Hey guys, so today I am sitting on Greg's floor and I am going to tell you some stories. We just got back from MythCon. It has been a day. It has been a freaking day, and I cannot wait to just recap it and tell you a whole bunch of freaking tales. There's the tales of the con and the bomb threat. So MythCon was really awesome, but it was like way busier, way busier than last year. It was like, last year was like play and this year was more like work, but like in a good way. In a way that like I never get tired of, but yeah, it was work. Last year the only YouTubers there were me, Greg, and Sargon. The rest were like the old school atheism dudes who I super paid attention to in like 2006 when I was like an edgy atheist. They were like my heroes. But this year it was almost all YouTubers. It was more politically, social, political sort of themed, as opposed to last year when it was just more religious themed and then only a few panels were like social, political. I fucking bombed last year. I'm very bad. I'm very bad at live things in general, but I'm even worse at like when you could see the audience. I'm terrible at that. I am like fucking loud, obnoxious. I can do anything in front of a camera. In front of a camera, I'm like so comfortable. I've always been comfortable in front of a camera on the internet, but throw me into a situation where I can physically see the people watching, and it's not just like a number on a screen. I fucking bombed last year because I was so nervous and I was just too like giggly and dumb, and I was too much likes and ums, and it was just a disaster. We gave like a speech about how, like, we opened for the convention. We gave a speech on how we should all listen to each other and like blah blah blah, like gay shit, and I mean it was good. Like, it got people in the mood for the convention, but like it was just I just did not do a good job at all. Greg did a much better job than me, but what the fuck else is new? So yeah, I wasn't in a panel or debate this year. Maybe next year, but who knows? We'll talk more about that. So yeah, Greg was in a panel. He was the first panel. He was the opening panel. It was about like the atheist community and how feminism has ruined it, but that's not what it was called. Like b0mb, Creationist Cat was there, Jacqueline Glenn, David Smalley, and then I forgot who was moderating it, but it was basically like 3-on-1. Everybody was against b0mb. I thought his points were pretty weak. Like, I'm not being biased, I just thought he focused too much on left versus right when everyone on that stage was left. Like, literally, everybody on the stage was left, yet he kept talking about left versus right when it was more like atheism versus progressivism. I don't even know. It was more like the atheist community versus feminism, not left versus right, which is why I actually got up to the microphone when it was Q&A time and I was like, I think you guys are missing the point. It's not so much left versus right, it's about fucking feminism. It wasn't left politics coming in. It wasn't like people were like, healthcare. No, it was people were like, men are rapists. That's obviously hyperbole, but you know what I mean. Like, it wasn't left-wing politics that disrupted or ruined the atheist community. It was feminism. It was a certain thing. It wasn't just left versus right. It was feminism. I think Greg did a really good job, and I was really proud of him. It was so cute. He came up on stage last year, he was freaking ham times 100. This year he was like ham times 10. He definitely toned it down a little bit, but he did come out in sunglasses, and he was like, so I was like, oh my god. But yeah, he looked super cute. He did a really good job. You could tell in the beginning he was a little nervous, but then towards the end when he started to like really get into it, he did a good job. Thought he was good. One point in their debate where I got a little like mad, and that was when Vadim was like comparing people being called alt-right to being called SJWs, which isn't the same at all, because alt-right is a literal political ideology, a literal like belief. It's like white nationalism, it's like ethno-states and stuff like that. When you call somebody alt-right, you're like, when you call someone an SJW, it's an insult. SJW was always a pejorative. It was never a literal political label that people took up. The equivalent is not alt-right and SJW. The equivalent to calling someone an SJW is the insult that I've seen, free speech warrior. That is the equivalent to calling someone an SJW. A free speech warrior, a culture warrior. Anyway, that was one of the biggest things. I was like, no, boy. So after his panel, we went out into the hall for a little while and we met a whole bunch of people, which was great and awesome, and I loved it, and like, yeah. The next panel we saw was the Karen versus Karen debate, where one was a feminist and the other was an anti-feminist, and they talked about if women have achieved equality in the West. It was pretty good. There wasn't a lot of debating though. It was more, they were both like in agreement with each other, which is great, and I think it was really nice to see like a feminist and an anti-feminist agree on stage. I think that was like a good, it was kind of cute. I wanted a little more debate between them, but I will settle for everyone agreeing and getting along. I think that's really nice. The bomb threat happened, and I shall tell you guys about that. So we were just in the hall, like talking and meeting with people, and then all of a sudden, like police officers come in, and they're like, everybody get out, get out, get out, get to the front doors, get to the exit, get out. I'm like, I'm dead. This is how I die. I didn't know what was happening, but I was like panicking. Greg like grabbed me, he's like, let's go, and we like ran out the door. People were running out the door, like trying to funnel into these little exit doors. It was like terrifying. And then I saw some people like smiling, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess nothing that bad happened. And I'm like, what's going on, what's going on? And they're like, oh, there was a bomb threat. Really? 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 I know that this happens in a lot of like political sort of conventions all the time, but it was terrifying at first. But then when everybody was outside, we were kind of hanging out, Derek was live streaming, and that was fun. Everybody was in a good mood because we knew it wasn't real, and everybody was like joking about it, saying that it was like Steve Shives. So me and Greg went to Starbucks while everybody was standing outside, and we just sat down and chilled, and we were on Twitter looking at what everybody was saying about the bomb threat and whatever, and some guy like quote tweeted like an article about it and was like, oh, looks like the alt-right convention was shut down. I was like, are you fucking serious? So I actually missed Derek's panel about the black community, and I missed the panel that Chrisiosity and Michael Rowlands was at. I missed two panels, so I'm kind of sad about that. I can't wait to see them on the YouTubes. I don't know if they're out yet. They might be while I make this, but I didn't see it. I'm just very happy that Michael, Chrissy, and Vadim came out, because there's so much fear-mongering about it. There's so much like, this is a Nazi convention, don't go, don't go. Fucking Steve Shives last year, don't go, white supremacists, white supremacists. And then he says it's a circle jerk. Either you go and represent your side, or it's circle jerk. It can't be both. MythCon isn't a circle jerk. There is definitely more people who are anti-SJW. Like, clearly there's more anti-SJW YouTubers there, so their fans are gonna come and see them. But what is wrong with a convention being a circle jerk? Like, I'm pretty sure Steve Shives made a convention called TAC, and it was supposed to be the anti-MythCon, and it was all progressive speakers. Literally nobody talked about it. Literally no one talked about it, because we're smart and we understand that you're allowed to have your own conventions about things. Why doesn't it go both ways? What is this double standard? Like, you're allowed to have your little SJW convention. Go! Do whatever you want. and nobody cares. And then MythCon's like, hey, we're gonna do that. And then all of a sudden, bomb threats and shit. Why? I'm really sorry that I'm wearing my glasses. I'm just blind. Oh, that's another thing. Okay, so I have this fear that people are going to think I'm ignoring them or being a bitch to them because I don't wear my glasses ever. I only wear them, like, to see far away because I'm super fucking blind. And I don't wear them in videos, I don't wear them at conventions, but I wear them all the time in real life. I don't wear contacts, I refuse to put anything in my eyes. So 80% of my life I'm completely blind. And when I'm at conventions, I'm always really scared that I'm not going to see a fan waving hi, or I'm not going to see another YouTuber like trying to talk to me and I'm just gonna ignore them. And this year I was really scared of that happening because there were a lot of people who like disagree with me there, like Michael and Chrissy and stuff. I was scared that they would like see me and like try to say hi and like I wouldn't look at them. No, I'm just really blind. Very bad eyesight. Very bad eyesight. So bad. Look how thick. Look how thick. Fuck. Sargon's panel. Sargon's fucking debate with Richard Carrier. The debate, they were both debating strawmen, and it was actually Sargon was debating a strawman more than Richard. I was actually really disappointed in Sargon.
Wait, are you talking about Sargon?
Well, I put pants on.
Oh my god.
I was like super disappointed in Sargon this year. A lot of people were, and even he was disappointed in himself because he made a follow-up video where he was like, I need to take a break, I'm becoming like a culture warrior, and like, you know, we love Sargon, he's a very good dear friend, but I agree, I think he got a little extreme, not extreme, but I think he got a little too deep into some things and kind of lost track of who he is and what he wants to do and stuff. He was just beating up a straw man, really, and Richard kept being like, I don't think that. I don't believe that. And Sargon was like, oh, okay, then why are we debating? And I was like, oh, it was so awkward. And Sargon kept telling Richard to shut up. He kept going, shut up, shut up. And every time he said shut up, I was like, okay, Sargon, you're the SJW on the stage this year. Like, last year, Thomas was, like, the train wreck. This year, like, Sargon was the train wreck. He wants to debate somebody from the intersectional SJW camp. Yet, like, he didn't get paired with somebody like that, so he was kind of like, what the fuck? He just wanted to talk about it. And Richard just wasn't having it. Sargon, like, kept saying, what's the definition of racism? What's the definition of racism? Because you expect somebody who's intersectional feminist to be like, it's prejudice plus power, or whatever it is. But Richard was just like, oh, it's hatred for the color of someone's skin or something, which is the regular definition. And that kind of fucked Sargon up. He was like, oh, I kind of agree with Richard that, like, just because there's a few extremists, like the blue hair SJWs, doesn't mean that, like, you shouldn't fight for things like abortion and stuff like that. Also, Sargon wouldn't say his, like, opinion on abortion, which kind of bothered me because I know that Sargon's pro-choice. I've heard him in live streams say it and stuff like that. I know that he's pro-choice, but he wouldn't admit it on stage, which was kind of weird. I don't know if his opinion has changed, but I was cheering for both of them. They both had pretty good points. I overall agreed with Sargon, obviously, but I did not agree with the way he acted on stage, which I think is important. Meeting YouTubers, we'll talk about that now, that's fun. So I met up with friends like Blair White, Josephine, Jacqueline Glenn, who I think I became closer friends with this time. She was more of just like an acquaintance. Oh, Jacqueline Glenn is one of the only people that I've ever fangirled over, by the way, besides of course Greg, but when I first met Jacqueline at VidCon, I was like really nervous because she's like fucking Jacqueline Glenn. So yeah, Jacqueline was really cool. I'd consider her a friend now, I think. If she does, I don't know if she does, but Theron Meyer was really nice and sweet. She's such a sweetheart. I consider her a friend too. We met Hunter Avalon, who is pretty much the same as he is in videos. We talked about how we're both like the low-hanging fruit people of the convention, which is true. And I think I'd like to be on a panel with him one day. I think that would be interesting. Poisoning the Well, they're always chill. They're party guys. If you want to have a party, you go to Poisoning the Well. Easy on Me, I don't think he was there unless I didn't see him, which is another thing. Like, there's almost no time to meet and talk to everybody. And even when there was, like, at the pre-party, the house that we had a pre-party at, like the MythCon people threw for us, the house was so big that I only saw Sargon like twice that whole night, for example. Every time I saw the cordoning, we just pretended to fight. We didn't really have any like conversation, but yeah, like there's so many people. Roaming Millennial is really, really sweet. Her and her fiance are really cute together. We talked a little bit about her last video where she talks about the importance of popping out babies, but she mostly, like, everyone has their cliques. There's nothing bad about that, that's just natural. This is my pet peeve. My pet peeve is when everyone assumes that everyone in the genre of social political things are buddies, are friends. That's not true. We could be acquaintances and like nice to each other, but we're not automatically all buddies. And that goes for people who dislike the YouTubers, who all assume that we're all friends and hang out, and for people who are YouTubers who assume we should all be friends and hang out. Knock that shit off. If I don't want to come to your fucking party, I don't have to come to the party. Mundane math. But yeah, no, it is kind of annoying. Like, we don't have to be all friends. Like, friendship happens naturally. You can't force it. But yeah, like Roaming Millennial, she mostly hung out with like Tim Pool and like people. I don't really talk to Tim Pool that much. He's cool, but I've never really had a long conversation with him. I think we talked a little bit about socialism. That's when me and Jeremy started fighting. I was like, don't you dare say Venezuela. Mike Rollins was surprising like the sweetest person there, which is surprising because he's super aggressive and mean and like gotcha boy on Twitter. Like, I had him blocked until MythCon. Yeah, like, he was really sweet, and he was just like, oh my god, I'm so happy I'm here, it's so cool seeing everybody in person. He was just in such a good mood. And I also fed him, I got him a muffin from the table, and it apparently was super dry, and he hated it, and he spit it out, and I'm like, oops. Great first impression. Christiosity, so I saw her the morning of the convention, and we were in the elevator to go down to go to the Ubers and go to the convention, and that's the first time I saw her, and she is so cute and pretty in person. She had like a dress on with a Peter Pan collar, which y'all know I'm obsessed with. Have a regular shirt, I sleep. Throw a Peter Pan collar on it, real shit. And the first thing she said to me was, you look so cute. And I was like, wow, thank you, Christiosity, that's really sweet. And then I thought of like all the times in live streams I've seen of her where she kind of like uses cute as an insult, and she's always like, yeah, she was the cute one. She was the cute one. She can't do anything wrong. She's the cute one. And I was just like, look who's perpetuating that stereotype. No, she meant it in a sincere way when she saw me, but Vadim was cool. Oh, Karen Strawn I kind of like fangirled over. The VIP party was awesome. They actually, like, we kind of came in a little bit late because we took a nap beforehand. Every time we said that, people were like, oh yeah, nap. No, we were literally we were sleeping. They were like, oh, sit down on the row, sit down on the first row, sit down. And we're like, what? And then they just start, they're like, this is a song for June and Greg. And I was like, what is happening? And they had Angel, who was the first transgender winner person of The Voice. She's so sweet, I love her. So she sung something live for us. And she was like, everyone was like, oh, this is for June and Greg. And then they handed us this like picture book of all of these pictures of me and Greg. Like, congratulations on your engagement, and like everyone at MythCon like signed it, fan signed it, and I started bawling. I started crying so hard, and I was like, I did not come to MythCon to cry. That was so sweet, and like, I just appreciate everything the MythCon guys did for us. Like, a great team of people, really nice, funny, smart people. I need to tell you the story, the pizza journey story. Do you want to hear the pizza story? Yes, you do. To give you an idea of how 0 to 100 conventions are, I just wanted a slice of pizza. So I get up from my seat to walk to the pizza, and someone stops me, and I talk to them, and I have a great time, we laugh, we talk. There is a line now behind that person. There is a line looping around the room behind that person to talk to me and Greg. So the next person comes up, we talk and everything. The next person comes up, we talk and everything, and it was awesome meeting so many people. And then like the last two people in line, like, yeah, and we have like small conversations, we take pictures and whatever. Finally, pizza time. I start to make my way to the pizza. Hey, Shu, want a drink? Oh, no. Another fucking line. And then that line finally dies down. I go to the pizza. There's no more pizza! All of y'all made me starve that night. No, I'm just kidding. So that was my pizza adventure, but I just wanted to tell you that to just give you an idea of how crazy it is. Just like, I don't do anything, I don't socialize a lot. I'm at home in my pajamas all the time, on the computer. You see me on Twitter 24/7. My boyfriend's long distance, so I'm home 90% of the time. So to go from 0 social interaction, 0 people interacting with you for weeks, even months, to 100, to almost everyone in that room wanting to interact with you, to lines of people, to even being on stage, to being in a convention where a lot of the focus is on you and your friends, and it was like, it's crazy. It is a mindset that takes, it's like a complete 180. It is crazy, fucking crazy, and it's humbling. It's so humbling. You hear so many people's stories. Everyone has great stories. They relate to you, they joke with you, they laugh with you. I only cried 2 times. It is really humbling to just meet people, because you see comments in your comment section all the time. You see like chat rooms and stuff like that, but when you see the people in person, it is a completely different experience, ranging from anxiety inducing to just extremely humbling and like sweet and kind, and just your heart is just so full and very cool. It's just a really, really nice thing, and that's why I love conventions, just meeting all of you. But god damn it, get me a freaking piece of pizza next time. So yeah, I highly, highly suggest coming to MythCon. It is such a great time, and you meet so many people. Even as a guest, there's like so many people to talk to. So many people, like, overlapping fan bases and stuff like that, and like, yeah. It was really fun. 10 out of 10 convention, right, Stash? 10 out of 10 convention.